Hey guys, welcome to our first episode of In My Rants podcast. Today we have our hosts, me, Mr. X4, Jack. Introduce yourselves, guys.
Hey, I'm the Cryptic Canadian, or Will.
Hey, I'm Alex, or Shadow. Hawk.
Yeah, this is the first episode of our podcast. I don't know if it's weekly or not. So,
Alright, Will, why don't you start us off with a topic for us to talk about?
okay, first we gotta do the most controversial Xbox One versus PS4.
Okay. Here, I'm on a computer right now, so I can go on this.
We're going to start off with a couple of the specs, first of all, and whether or not, which one is superior, if they're equal, and of course we're going to debate price costs, which everybody will mostly know already.
Alright, here, I'm on something with that right now. I guess I could, do that. Here, wait, Alex, why don't you start us off with the specs, since you know most about that?
Okay. So, we all know that, most of us will, this is for the people who won't know, that the Xbox One is going to be an estimated MSRP of $500, and the PS4 is going to be $400. So, I found out that both of the CPUs, the graphics cards, they are going to be generated from the Radeon 7000 series. This is very high quality, but I've also found out that they are both AMD processors, which are not at all comparable.
Wait, also with Xbox One?
Yes, they both branch off of the Radeon series. Although
So, in English, please.
The CPUs are very similar. The graphics cards are
Okay, great. That's cool.
And so what we've also found out, although they're going to be similar, the PS4 is going to have the uppermost advantage. It's going to have more high quality, more better made. It's the 7000. I'm not exactly sure. The Radeon 7180, I believe, while the Xbox One is the 7790.
Alright, well, I got something pulled up from IGN. It's a chart for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Wii U. Wii U released last year, and it's actually technically a next-gen console. It might not be advanced as the PS4 or Xbox One, but still next-gen. Some people decided to get it since it's cheaper. So price goes, Shadow's right. PS4 is like $400, Xbox One $500. But the Wii U comes in two options. There's the $350 version and just the $300 version. So for the optical drives, like the disc space, for the PS4 and Xbox One, you get Blu-ray-DVD. So Xbox One stepped it up, PS4 same as always. And then for the Wii U, we have a 25 gig optical disc. So I don't think that's really as good as the Blu-ray-DVD one. I think that's only just for DVD. With the game DVR, the PS4 and the Xbox One again have it, but the Wii U unfortunately doesn't. For the RAM, the PS4 has 8 gigs of GDDR5. Yeah, the Xbox One has 8 gigs of
Can I
Yeah.
explain this?
Yeah.
So what it is it's like the processor gigabyte count. So PS4 and Xbox both have 8 gigabytes of RAM, but the difference is that PS4 has DDR. What was it? 5 DDR5.
Yeah, PS4 has DDR5.
Right, and I'm pretty sure the Xbox One has DDR3. These may not seem like very big differences, but they are. The PS4 still has them more.
Yeah, and
The specs to the PS4 are advanced, and yet the PS4 is cheaper than the Xbox One.
alright, well, the Wii U is, that's because of the camera. The Kinect costs more because you're forced to have the Kinect. But the Wii U, again,
It would be more like $350, but the Kinect adds.
well, no, I think the Xbox they would have priced it at $400 if they didn't have the Kinect. But the Wii U, it again falls short in another category with RAM. The Wii U has the only 2 gigs, and it also has the Xbox's DDR3, so it falls short compared to the PS4 and the Xbox One. Storage, which I feel PlayStation 4 does the best. It does a 500 gig hard drive, and it can be removed by the user. The Xbox One is a non-removable 500 gig hard drive, so if say it broke, you'd have to send it to back to Microsoft or a shop to fix it, which would be not as cheap as just getting a or is just fixing it from the PS4. And then the Wii U, it falls short again with either 8 gig or 32 gig. So that's over 400 distance.
It seems like PS4 has interpreted exactly what Xbox One would do, and they've countered it with basically everything better. So
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it's cheap. Cost-wise, it's cheaper in almost everything.
And then the last few ones, like external storage, PlayStation 4, I guess, hasn't announced that yet. Xbox One, yes, there will be USB drives. Same thing with Wii U.
External or internal? Because
External.
they have announced that both are going to be about a
All right.
500 gig.
Well, in cloud storage, PlayStation 4 has yes, Xbox One yes, but Wii U no. Mandatory game installs no. Xbox One it says Xbox One has them, but I believe they got rid of the mandatory game installs because now you can trade games. So
And with the Xbox One or the PS4, I would recommend buy a bigger hard drive, an external hard drive to get through your USB because, I mean, these games are going to be much larger. They're going to be, I mean, think about it, the Xbox 360, the new update came out for, the new DLC just came out for Black Ops, and it's 1.9 gigs. Just imagine what the bigger updates are going to be like for the Xbox One. They're going to be something, like 10 to 15 gigabytes.
okay,
Updates.
well,
So I'd recommend, personally, I would just like to, if you're a bigger gamer.
all right. Well, as far as internet connection go, Xbox used to have 24 hours, once every 24 hours, but now it's just you need to update it on the first day, so that's nice. Use game fee. Across the board is basically no, but for PS4 it's publisher dependent, so it's like EA. If they want to do the thing again with the online passes, they can do that. Backwards compatibility, no, but for the Wii, yes, it has that, so that's actually a pretty good plus, I think, because backwards compatibility can actually matter a lot. Digital game sharing, no. Backwards, I already went over that. Cross game chat, yes, yes, and no. So for the Xbox and PS4, yes. So PS4 fixed their whole party issue where you couldn't talk to people unless they were playing the same game as you. But the Wii, you cannot talk to them. As far as motion control goes, alright, well, the DualShock 4, PlayStation 4i not included, PlayStation Move not included. The Xbox includes the Kinect too, but I mean, that does add on to the price, so it's kind of,
That's what I would like to hear. I would like for them to announce a separate package not including the Kinect.
yeah, but then a lot of people who pre-ordered would get pissed.
Yeah.
Alright,
okay, well, is it just me or does anyone else get pissed off when like someone was talking to me the other day about which one's better, and they just kept going on and on about how the Xbox looks just like a box. I honestly give a crap. As long as I can play my games, that's all I need.
yeah, I agree with that, because I mean, I'll be like, oh, it doesn't look that nice, it looks like 80s crap, but I'm like, I can still play my games on it, so that's not a...
Partially agree, but I partially don't agree. The only problem I have with that is, at least it's still slim, because if it's, bigger, some people can't fit an Xbox in some places in their house or by their TVs. There's no space, so
Alright, well...
it's still a slim version, still a little box, which is the general thing.
Alright, well, this topic, I'm guessing, is getting pretty boring, so we're just gonna lay out the facts. Basically, from most of the stuff we've read before this and after this, PlayStation 4 seems like it does have better specs, because that's what most people are saying. We read it. It has better specs. But it seems like the Wii U has the worst specs, in fact, even though it's a next gen. But the Wii U is it's still next gen. It still works. It's also cheaper though. That's the thing. It can be $100 cheaper or $50 cheaper than the PS4. And the Xbox One screwed us over by coming with the Kinect. So I really feel like Xbox One, yeah, they did really screw us over by forcing us to buy the Kinect, because that's an extra $100. They could have tied PS4, because I mean, if you looked at the sales, the PS4 is skyrocketing in pre-orders, while the Xbox One is there's like no Xbox One pre-orders in the top five. Xbox One pre-order is like in the top six, and I think that's like Call of Duty Ghosts or either Battlefield 4, I think.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Okay, so what are you guys getting and why?
Well, I would much rather either have a PlayStation 4. I wouldn't want a Wii U only because, well, almost no one plays Wii. Here's the thing. I want to get what most of my friends get, right? Most of them seem like they're getting an Xbox One. I mean, I would get an Xbox One. Some people are switching over. Like, our school used to be a Xbox exclusive school. There were rarely any kids who played PS3. So, now half the kids are switching over to PS4, so that's gonna divide our gaming community a bit. But I think I'm still gonna get the Xbox One because I want to keep with my profile. I know it's a stupid reason, but the thing is, even if I wanted the PS4, I would still wait around a year. Hopefully, by around the year, an Xbox One will release where it's cheaper, and there's going to be a cheaper version. So, I hope I can get the Xbox One, but I might get the PS4. There's a possibility of that. Because I do want to see Halo 5 and Titanfall. Titanfall, as far as an exclusive goes, yeah, I know a lot of people say PS4 has good exclusives, but I really think Titanfall has true potential to be a COD killer, possibly. And then Halo 5 just looks pretty cool. What about you guys?
Now you. Yes.
Alright, so I had a question, and Jack answered that already. My question was, are you going to be able to bring your profile up to the Xbox One? I guess that's been answered yes. I do not know exactly how Microsoft is going to do that, but I think it's, just going to be a general, download profile.
Yeah, well,
But I'm not exactly sure. I'm thinking I will get an Xbox One, but I'm not going to get it for probably a solid 2 years, hoping that the prices will go down or that they will release a separate package without the Kinect, or maybe even a smaller gigabyte version. Because right now, 250 gigs of my slaps more than enough.
all right, Will.
I did have one more thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And if anything, I might get the PS4 within the next a couple months after it's released.
Yeah, I'm just probably not gonna get. I might get one of the consoles. I'm not sure which one yet, but I don't think I'm gonna get any console because I might just stick with my Xbox 360 because I don't really want to get unless the mics transfer over. I don't want to get a new mic. I don't want to buy new games and everything. And then I just stick because then I can't play my old games because I don't want to spend $500 on a new console because if I can't trade my Xbox 360 and then I'll lose all those games too.
Also, because then you lose,
All right, and then one more thing we haven't. Well, guys, one more thing we haven't really touched on is PC gaming. PCs are still going to be better than these consoles, pretty much. But these consoles, even though they don't have the same utility as the PC, like ability to do more kinds of work, they do cost cheaper than if you're going to buy a PC just for gaming. The thing is, though, with a PC, you can modify. It depends if you want like a laptop or because with the laptop, you can't really build your own laptop, I guess. With a desktop, you could build your own, but with a laptop, you can't really do that. But still, if you want the best quality out of everything, if money isn't an object, then you probably want to go for a PC over a console.
Okay, we need a new topic.
All right, Will.
Let's start on the new DLC.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the new Vengeance DLC that has come out today for Black Ops 2.
What do you guys thoughts of it?
Both gotten it. I am the only one who's actually played it yet. And to me, it's very fun, especially very, very fun mode. But me and Mizrax, and actually also, Will over here, we've been debating that it's taking away the liveliness, the actual classicness of zombies. It's just not the same. You don't get that same feeling. You don't get. And I also believe it's the hardest DLC, or not DLC, but the hardest zombies that's come out yet this year. corner to a close corners map.
Alright, I think we should keep the vengeance thing short because we don't have much for that really.
And uplink, it's very well made. It's complete, exact. It's basically talking about some. It's basically a texture pack like in Minecraft, just added to it. And yeah, the only things I do not like is Rush, which I'm actually playing right now. The map Rush. And well, actually that's it. Cove, I was gonna say it's bad, but no, I like it. Rush, it's just too many shotguns. I know you get a key from it, but it annoys everybody else.
What about the other map?
And then I was gonna say, right, I actually have not played Detour yet. I have not heard anything bad about it, but I haven't heard anything positive.
Yeah, one thing I'm scared for Detour is it looks like it's just one long map. So the thing is, like, it doesn't look like... They say you can flank underneath, but it seems like it's just going to be two fights, basically. One on top and one underneath. It seems like there's not really many flanking routes since it's just a bridge. You know, I feel like it's just going to be one long path.
Though it will be fun for Search and Destroy, as will Uplink.
I think it would be fun for, like, Ground War if we had, like, an objective in the middle and it was just, like, Ground War, fight it out. You know what would be amazing if they added War from World at War onto that? Because the map, I haven't seen the map, but from what I've seen, it looks big. I don't know how big it actually is, but it looks like it would be able to fit War on there.
I'll quit this game in a second.
Alright.
The only Call of Duty, like, it's the only bad thing I don't like about Call of Duty is, like, because my favorite game mode is, like, Search and Destroy, but I like Domination a lot too, but the only thing that makes me mad about, like, Domination and Demolition is the maps that have the flag in the wide open, there's no cover or anything, so you're pretty much, it's whoever gets that flag pretty much dominates the whole game.
Yeah.
You can double cap.
Alright, let's get on to a different topic.
Okay,
Alright,
Move
Will.
on to the VGHS Season 2.
yes.
Oh, yes, VGHS Season 2.
Okay.
Alright, so if you don't already watch VGHS, you suck, my friend. You have to watch VGHS. Go on over to rocketjump.com, and if you don't know what VGHS is, basically, this is... Okay, let me explain, guys. Let me explain. Yeah, hold on. Okay, this is a world where sports are no longer considered like a national game. Video gaming is now the replacement of sports, esports, everything like that is now the new. So for all you gamers out there, I guess all you pro gamers, all the jocks are basically the losers at the bottom now, and you guys are like the, I don't know, the most popular at the school. But now instead of having like schools that have sports teams, now they have like video game teams, I guess. So VGHS takes us to one of those schools, and it's a pretty generic name, Video Game High School. But so our friend, or not our friend, but the main character's name is Brian D, and he's basically just a kid who plays Fields of Fire, which is their in-game FPS, or in-show FPS. And for some reason, the law decides to enter his pub match, because he was on live TV and he wanted to impress people. And basically, he gets killed by Brian D because he thinks Brian's AFK, so he's going to troll Brian. And Brian makes it into VGHS. And we won't spoil Season 1 for you if you haven't watched it yet, but basically, he has to, like, do tryouts in Season 1. Now, the next part...
Really good, well done YouTube series.
It's a very well done YouTube series. Freddie Wong, Corroder Digital, and Freddie Wong are, like, the main people there. Well, the main YouTubers there. And then we got, like, Jimmy Wong there playing, Ted Wong. Ted Wong was his name in game. That's what his name was. As Brian's best friend, and then there's another character. Key Swan is Brian's other best friend. But basically, okay, the next part is gonna be spoiler. So if you haven't watched it yet, pause this video right now, go and watch it, and then come back. So
Don't pause this video, watch this one all the way through.
okay, if you want it to be spoiled, watch it all the way through, just like Cryptic Canadian would. Anyways, so for Season 2, we watched in...
Spoil it. Oh, never mind. I thought you were...
Let's try.
Well,
do this.
no, for Season 2...
You need to say,
No, screw you, Shadow. For Season 2, basically, we watched an interview from Freddie Wong. It was, since VGHS is not the only school, basically, since the tryouts are over, also, now they have to compete against other schools that also have video game teams. Basically, Brian, yes, tries are over. He's on the VJ's team, and this whole season, the season's also going to be longer. Per episode, because it's going to be more like a TV show episode. So if you ever seen a show like on Nickelodeon, like iCarly or Drake and Josh, imagine one of those high school shows only with video games. Now imagine how boss that would be. Well, that's what VJHS season 2 is going to bring to us. Now, it also in season 2 the law is like I this is what I remember from the video. They talked about this briefly, something a lot about the law being like expelled and there's like some sort of scandal. I'm not sure if this is completely right, but I heard something about this briefly. And we were speculating that maybe it was because he was hacking or something. Because if you noticed in season 1, he basically had wall hacks because he stuck his gun through in season finale. He basically just stuck his gun like through the crack of the wall and shot that guy without even looking at him. That was the law. Here's the one of the complaints I have for VJHS. This is like the only complaint I have. Is basically what happens is they focus a lot on the story, which I like, but then they don't focus on like the in-game gameplay that much. So I feel like all the characters are almost as if they're combat drones. Like they don't really react like normal gamers would. Um, yeah, and that's basically what I got out of the video for season 2. What about you guys?
Yeah, season 2, it seems like it's going to be not only more interesting, but a little bit more in depth to the story, I believe.
Oh yeah.
I also have some details.
Well, season 2 is basically like season 1 was sort of like the test to see if people like that show, and they did. So season 2 is going to expand on the universe basically, and all the original characters are going to have their own stories and side stories now. So for example, Ted, he's going to have his own stories in drift racing. I guess Key Swan will have her own stories in rhythm gaming. You know.
Oh, and what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, and we forgot to say these. Season 2 is going to begin the end of July, and
That's what they're shooting for.
what?
That's what they're shooting for, end of July release.
Yes. And so, also, they've said that, I'm pretty sure they said that they're not going to have as many episodes. They're not going to have 10 episodes. But the episodes, instead of being, around 12 to 15 minutes long, they're going to be more like 20, 22, 20. It's like 20,
Well, that's just what I said.
Yeah, pay attention.
Yeah, Shadow, pay attention, man. I know you're ADHD, but that means you can still pay attention. Oh yeah, and I think Cryptic Canadian looks like the law for some reason.
Hey.
It's true.
It's true. He does look like the law.
Yeah, I think it's funny how the two teams inside their game, if you didn't know, yeah, their game, the FPS game that they play in VJHS is called Fields of Fire, and the two teams is Team Canada and Team Mexico. So,
Team Canada.
oh, so now you're on, okay, whatever. Yes, Alex?
Detour it's a pretty big map.
Okay, we're on a new topic, so screw that.
Okay, well, let's just talk about something really quick. For the podcast, if you want to see, if you want to be a guest or something, just contact one of us, and maybe you could be a guest, or leave topics down below you want us to talk on, or send messages.
Yeah, definitely definitely leave comments and concerns down below because this is our first episode, so we need revisions. We tried recording an episode last night, but kind of fell through because my computer died because there was out of batteries.
The first 5 minutes with AC at it was kind of a fail.
Yeah, and then a funny fire dude might star in our show later because he's pretty cool, and we might have JP Jokers on our show. If you know him, go check him out. He's a troller. All right, Will, I guess new topic.
Oh yeah, new topic. So, do you guys have any getting trolled stories or trolling stories?
All right, Alex, why don't you start this off with the Microsoft thing?
Okay, so I am a very big fan of the Rad, Minnesota Burns, all those kind of people. I like the walkthroughs, and Minnesota Burns, he highly influenced me this one day, and so me and my friend got together, and we were playing some World of War, and we found this hacker, so we decided to invite him to the party. It was this little kid. So we decided to, pull a Minnesota Burns and troll him. So we decided to, tell him to, go get his mother. We're Microsoft employees. because we need somebody 18 or older, and he believed us. We thought he wasn't going to, he would have figured it out, but, you know, he didn't, and he actually got his mother. So, yeah, we were really, really scared, but we,
That was easy.
Yeah, it was kind of fun, but it was really scary. We almost got banned because she asked us for names and stuff.
Alright, Canadian.
My trolling story is not as good. I got trolled like yesterday
Oh, yeah.
on NHL. Some little freaking kid. I thought he seemed so nice. I knew it was gonna be a troll. Never trust a guy with the gamer tag of Mr. Trollface13. Everyone just go report him because he's a douche. But he trolled me and said that you could duplicate your pucks thing. So he put out this thing that you just you give him something and then all your money and then he'll take it and duplicate it. And then he took I didn't give him all my money because I knew it was kind of like a troll thing, but he still took a bunch of my money and I was like, you douchebag, I trusted you. But that's the most easiest way to get trolled. So yeah.
Okay, so we are 25 minutes in. Alright, Will, new topic.
I'm 26 minutes in. Get on my level.
No, I'm 26 minutes in and 9 seconds.
I'm at 9 seconds. Oh yeah, what are things seconds?
Okay, yeah.
Let's talk about things that might be new for your channels or new series or new shows coming out.
Alright, let's start with Shadow since he hasn't uploaded any videos yet. So, Alex.
Hi.
So
we back to video.
I do not plan on uploading anything, but eventually I may start uploading some stories on Xbox. Eventually I may get a capture card and start doing gameplays and walkthroughs.
Alright, what about you, Will?
I'm just gonna upload podcasts, some Minecraft series with some people. If you want to play Minecraft, do anything,
Xbox
play
360 version as well. PC and Xbox.
that too. Yeah, both of that. I don't have a capture card yet because mine broke. So
DVR, you dropped it.
yeah, whatever.
In a
Hey, shut up. I dropped it. It's pretty bad, and then it broke. So if you want to play Minecraft or anything, you do something or record a video, just send a message, leave in the comments. What about you, Ms. Rex?
Okay, so, well, as you all know...
Video, but it's gonna secret for now.
Alright.
Ms. Rex and JP Jokers knows about it.
Oh, yeah, I know that one. That's gonna be funny. No, Shadow knows that one too. Well, yeah, there'll be a video up sometime of our plot.
It's gonna be pretty good.
Alright, okay, so my plans. Well, I want to finish the COD course series. Basically, it's sort of like based off the idea of VGHS, where a teacher would be teaching a class about video games. And basically, what I'll do on that show is I'll pretend to be a professor. I did pretty bad in the first episode, but I'll do better in the next few episodes. And then after I'm done with the COD Course 4 series, I'll probably move on to then World at War training series. Basically for that, instead of it being like a teacher in a class, it'll be sort of like a military people. So for the Russians, he'll have a Russian accent. For the Germans, he'll be like a Nazi person. I like how I just classify the Germans as Nazis. That's, yeah. Anyways, and then after that, I'll probably do Deadliest Weapon. If you guys have ever seen the Spike show Deadliest Warrior, it sadly... What?
I watched that show.
Dude, it was so good, but it got canceled after season 3, so because they ran out of budgeting or something. So I'm basically making a tribute, I guess, sort of, not really a tribute, but to Deadliest Warrior. So I called Deadliest Weapon, and I'll just put weapons in video games that are really similar to each other, and I'll have them basically see which one's better. For example, like the SWAT 5.56 and the M8A1. And then from here to there, mostly what I'll do, though, those are like shows, so those won't come out as often. I'll mostly just do commentaries, podcasts, show you guys different cool game modes in different games. And then I might do Battlefield 3. I'll probably do a class guide. That's probably going to be a longer video, maybe 20 minutes per class. It won't be as in-depth as Call of Duty, but it'll be just general, how to play Assault well, how to play Recon well, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Alright, Will, next topic.
You guys have any topics? Because I'm out.
Oh god, that's not good.
I was
How about we stop the recording right now, take a commercial break, and we come back later when we have more
Okay,
topics.
this podcast is sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, that might not be the commercial break, so guys, yeah, see you after the commercial break.
And we're back.
Yep, we are back from commercial break.
Sorry for that. Shadow had to take a shit.
Yeah, Shadow had to take a shit. You could hear his shit sloshing around. Okay, I can't believe I said that.
Then he fell in the toilet and he screamed.
Oh my god.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
So, Jack, you're the next topic.
Okay, so my next topic was okay. All right, I was watching one of Star's videos. Star's awesome. You should go subscribe to him. But basically, what happened was he was talking about this guy in the news. He was this kid, right? He was in the League of Legends community. He was playing League of Legends, and it was about like trash talking. So if you've played like a video game and you've been online, you know how bad trash talking can get sometimes. Apparently, League of Legends is like 10 times worse than the Call of Duty community, and Call of Duty is full of shit talkers. I have to admit. What happened is this kid. This was a couple months after the shooting, I believe, and or I think it was just like a little bit after the shooting. It was in February, so this kid basically, someone was calling him a mentally retarded person, and he said that he's totally meant. He said in like a sarcastic voice, or not. He meant it to be sarcastic. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm totally mental. I would go into school and shoot some kids and eat their hearts." Now I would say that's crossing the line a bit. Because, I mean, it's a bit cruel after what happened with the shooting. But the thing is, after that, he also put lol JK, which I don't think by any means should solve everything by just saying lol JK. But what happened that was stupid is basically he posted the guy saying that on Facebook. And grandma saw what he posted, and then she called like the cops because she like stalked him down and found out he lived near a school. So she called the cops, which I think, I think, yeah, I guess I guess that's what a citizen should do. And then the cops immediately respond, and which I also agree with that. But what happens is then the cops like decide to arrest him, which I think it's overboard kind of arresting him because I mean. I don't think he really meant it. You've all been if you play video games and you've talked to people, you've all said some pretty messed up stuff and never meant it. And this guy, he got arrested. He was like detained until March before they looked into his case. And then I haven't really read the article that much yet. I just watched Star's videos, but this guy was like he's like getting a sentence or something for a really long time in jail, I think. And basically, this kind of pisses me off because honestly, this happens a lot, and most people wouldn't get arrested for this. So, if you're a gamer, I guess, I think that you should. There's a petition. I'm gonna leave a petition in the link in the description. Or I'm gonna leave a link in the description to the petition. Basically, a bunch of people are trying to sign this so he can, like, I guess, get out of jail or something. I think you should go check it out, definitely, because I think we've all been in those trash-talking situations where someone's trash-talks up and we said something messed up, I guess, but yeah, still. What about you guys?
I agree.
BS. That's terrible.
Mm.
That's bullcrap. Like, that's just like me, like, there's like a lot of crap on Xbox, and people are just dropping the N-bomb every 5 seconds, saying that they're gonna go over and shoot them and burn crosses in their yards.
Yeah, I mean, literally, on the COD emblems, there's KKK references.
KKK people, and Get In My Rants does not support any racial things.
Yeah, Get In My Rants only implies... Get In My Rants does not support racial stereotypes. It only implies racial stereotypes jokingly, like, I guess a comedy show would. But
Jack is the certified Asian.
I am retired from my days as the certified fat ninja. I am now
You're Asian, and I'm Canadian, and
Alex is Czechoslovakian.
white.
White. White.
Just kidding, I'm white too.
I'm yellow. Mellow. Okay.
That's gonna be our next topic. Let's talk about racial thing. Let's talk about our thoughts on racism.
Okay, I think racism is stupid considering there's really no well, there's cultural differences to many races, but I mean, the fact that I don't think any race in specific is like forced to be in a certain culture, because any race could be in whatever culture they want. It's just like the stereotype of what culture their people are in. So, for example, I'm trying to think of one right now. Like, the stereotype in America for like, I guess, black gangs or, I mean, that's not necessarily true. You see a lot of educated people who can be African American. It's just, a lot of, it's harder for minorities to make money. So that's where the stereotype exists. But that doesn't apply for everyone.
I just think like racism is just so dumb. Like we're all basic. We're all human. We're all the
Hmm.
same. Like people just like I know like everyone that I know that's like a minority does not get offended really by racial jokes. But I just think it's dumb. There's like no point about it. Like sometimes I'm admitting it. I drop some racial like stuff, but I don't mean it. I'm not racist at all.
Yeah. I mean, like, the big thing is if the person, like, can handle it and he knows you're joking. Because, I mean, because if you think about it, you might, like, say something to one of your friends. Maybe he's, not to be offensive, but maybe he's, Jewish. And he can handle it, like, but say something that, like, the Holocaust in World War II, those are, like, extreme things. Like, going as far as physical abuse and stuff because of someone's race. Because that's something that they shouldn't have to go through, honestly.
Yeah, and let me just get one thing clear. Us Canadians, we don't say a lot. Sometimes it occasionally slips out. Sometimes, like every summer, I go to Canada every year, and sometimes, like I'm used to being around like those kind of people. So sometimes maybe I'll slip an A sometime if I get really like angry or I'm like just talking really fast. But that doesn't really happen that much. So when people would like talk and they'll go like, "Hey, that's a great weather," A after everything they say, it's not how it works. It's like, yeah. Never mind. I don't know what I was gonna
All
say.
right. Well, what I have on accents is basically like you talk like the people around you. For example, Joe Hills is another awesome YouTuber you should check out. Back when I watched his videos all the time, I would talk like this. I would talk like this to all my friends and stuff, and talk like a Southern accent guy.
Oh my god,
So,
it's so annoying.
but yeah, everyone thought it was really annoying. So I kind of stopped like watching his videos, so I wouldn't talk like this anymore. But yeah, yeah. So, um,
What happens to everybody if you live in a country or a place for too long, you tend to pick up the accent.
yeah. If you live in a place for too long,
That's
kind
like
of.
when I was watching Jenna Marbles videos for a long time, and I just started talking like a girl, and then I grew boobs, and
You were watching Jenna Marbles
needed
videos.
having, just had to buy some bras and stuff.
Well, we all know Shadowhawk spends his days and nights watching Jenna Marbles.
Oh yeah, oh my god.
3 or 4 times a day, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh boy.
Oh, you know, because Shadowhawk 3 times a week, apparently.
Yeah, that's. Wait, why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
Because this is a podcast.
Because this is what happens when you have podcasts and there's not enough people.
I'm still shitting right now, by the way. So
Because if AC Addict was here, we would tell him he sucked. But clearly he's not, so.
if you're watching this, you suck.
Justin, we don't mean it, man.
Okay, let's go on to the next topic.
Yeah, next topic, okay?
Okay, so Don Matrick, if anyone knows who he is one of like the lead software designers for Microsoft. He was the one that did like the cloud stuff at the meeting, saying that like how to share games, stuff like that on the new Xbox. I guess he couldn't really take the pressure or something like that, so he kind of, like, because everyone was tweeting at him saying that, like, he was dumb and stuff like that, and they need to revert all this Xbox stuff, which they did, get rid of some of that stuff today. They reversed some of the shared games things, stuff like that. But he left, his position at Microsoft. Oh, where the frick did I go?
Oh, Alex, I see you changed your name to Alex the Boss.
Okay, well, I just get through this calling part. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna hang up on you.
Sorry.
He left Microsoft and he joined Zynga. I'm not sure what Zynga does. I think they own OMG Pop.
Zynga owns a lot of, like, Facebook games. Someone turned that noise off in the background.
No, it's Jacob. Andrew, stop it.
Alex, you're stupid.
Get in my rant. It's one of the most
Random.
professional podcasts I've ever seen.
I'm sorry, guys. If this video is kind of boring or random, it's because we don't really. Last night we had two guests, but I mean, they weren't here today, so
Just tell us how to make it better.
yeah. If you, because we'll have more guests next time.
Okay, so we were about to reach
Not
the 40
more
minute mark.
guests. We'll just have
Okay, now let Will finish his statements.
Yeah, and I just think that's I think he just left. Like, I know you get the CEO position, but I just think he couldn't handle the like people yelling and stuff like that.
Yeah, same thing with Robert Bowling for Infinity Ward. He formed a new company, Robotaki. He was the guy from Infinity Ward who, like, the community had. He had to basically take all the shit that the community put on him, so he couldn't handle it anymore, so he resigned. Which I completely understand. Because, I mean, you do have to take a lot of shit. Vandahar takes a lot of shit for stuff that he doesn't cause.
Because people are just yelling at you constantly. You didn't have to deal with that all the time.
Yeah.
Like some of the tweets that I saw at him was like not this guy but Bandahar. They were like, I got a new tube. It's all your fault, Bandahar, and like all this stuff. And people can make jokes like that, but he was just getting a ton of like haters at him.
Alright, so are we going to talk about Respawn Entertainment?
Titanfall and such. The COD killer.
Yeah, that's Respawn.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Okay, so, back...
Just in like 5 minutes.
Well,
Just so people don't have to listen to this whole.
well, no, this isn't too... Well, I mean, we're going to put this all in one part. There'll be a break in the middle. Basically what happened back in Modern Warfare 2 was there was some sort of contract, mishap with the two, founders, I guess, of Infinity Ward. I don't know what their exact positions were. They were just like CEO and founders. Now, interesting enough, they actually originally broke off of EA first. They were working on Medal of Honor Frontlines or something with some guys at EA. They broke off of EA and started working on Infinity Ward, and then they started making like Call of Duty games. But what happened was around Modern Warfare 2, they got into contract, like a heated contract debate with Infinity Ward, and then they were forced to leave, I guess. And they basically formed Respawn Entertainment, and then they actually went back to EA. Because once they left, a bunch of companies wanted them, but then they said that they wanted complete freedom, the creative freedom. So then only like two big companies remained, which was THQ and EA, and they wanted to give EA another shot. Because like for THQ, they would basically be like one of the bigger guys at THQ, but THQ wouldn't have all the necessary resources. For EA, they wouldn't be as big, but they would have more resources, so they chose EA. And basically what happened was most of the THQ also went bankrupt, so I guess they made a good call there. But what happened was also most of the other Infinity Ward guys, they quit and went to Respawn Entertainment because they wanted their old bosses. Because they didn't what happened after the old bosses were fired basically was the environment for working became really hostile. Like the latest Game Informer had a conversation about this with former employees of Activision, and what happened was like Activision would send their people there to communication people, I guess, and it would just feel terrible over there. So that's why MW3 I guess didn't really feel like a lot of people would say MW3 is just a map pack of MW2, but I mean for if you really play Call of Duty, it like feels different than MW2 somewhat. It doesn't feel like as good, I guess. That's why they had to bring over Sledgehammer Games from another project over there. And that's why Modern Warfare 2 also went on like a 6-month streak of no patches because they were
Which is
like,
my favorite game, by the way.
yeah, well, so basically they formed Respawn.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure for actually no, it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay, well,
Christmas Story on the Wii.
alright, well, Respawn Entertainment now is making a game called Titanfall, which looks like a cross between Halo and COD, because you got, like, the COD mechanics of a lot of infantry combat, but there's also Titans, which are these mechs that go around and, like, are just sort of like no, not really. They're not like Pacific Rim mechs. They're more like the Halo Mantis. They're sort of like Halo Mantises. But the guys, it looks like it's cooler. It looks sort of like COD because I mean same thing basically. It like in one of the trailers there was a guy. I think he was using an assault rifle type weapon. He had I'm guessing a reflector or holographic type sight on it. and it was basically like he got a kill. The weapons look pretty fast killing, like 3-4 hits, and then he got 10 XP for the kill. So again, it's going to be another standard FPS type game. But then there's also going to be Titans. Now it's not going to be like World at War where the Titans automatically spawn. It's going to be like you have to stay alive for like 90 seconds or something, and then the Titan spawns in for you, which I don't think is the best idea. I'd rather have it be like Battlefield or World at War where the Titans are at your base and you can just pick them up if you're good at being Titan flyers, I guess. You guys?
I agree.
All right. Well, what I think we're gonna see, because um, what's happening is like Call of Duty Ghosts doesn't look that impressive. I think it's possible that Titanfall could be a COD killer, because it looks like it's more. Because here's the thing with Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is really good, but the wider audience isn't there because the maps are really large and it's slower paced. There's not like I love Battlefield. It reminds me of Battlefront, which Battlefront 3 will come out. And I'm so happy about that, but we might talk about that later. Battlefield 4, again, it's just not because Call of Duty is an arcade type shooter, and there's a lot more action, and it's not easy. It's a lot easier for a wider audience. It looks like Titanfall is going to be a bit easier than Battlefield 4 for a wider audience. So the potential for Titanfall dominating a new generation is still there. But the only problem is Call of Duty is such a built franchise that it might not. It probably can't be knocked down that easily. It would be knocking down something like Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's like Halo and God.
Well, I mean,
I feel like Halo got knocked down a little bit off.
Yeah, I do too. With 343 control, it just doesn't have that same,
well, it doesn't feel much as Halo anymore, but I like Halo better with the slightly faster pace. But I don't like some of the newer buffs. Like now, the weapons I feel kill too fast for it to feel like Halo. Like I like it when the DMR takes like 5 hits and the BR takes like 6 hits or 6 bursts, not hits. If it was 6 hits, that'd be so overpowered. But the thing is like. With Halo, I feel like Halo 4, it was like good when it began, but then people really started dying down because I think more people play on Halo Reach than Halo 4 because the fans just don't like Halo 4 as much.
Custom games for the games, like they were really good in Halo 3, then they were really good in Reach, and now in this game there's like no custom games.
Yeah,
That's like my favorite thing to do in Halo is just play around random custom games.
Yeah, I wish that's the one thing I also don't like about COD is like the custom games I feel they could improve. The two best custom game editors were basically Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1. Because in Black Ops 2 you basically can customize everything everything about classes because of the 10 class system. But with
speed and stuff on.
yeah, but in Black Ops 1, here's the issue though. Everything is universal for like health and stuff. In Black Ops 1, you could customize the speed of every class. You could customize the health of every class. You could customize the regeneration speed. You could also customize like if that class could have vampirism, how much damage it could do, how much explosive damage. Okay, yeah. So I'm just saying, I think games should also look toward private match customization. I think that's pretty good.
You guys think we should wrap up this podcast?
Yeah, first podcast. I guess we're done. So
this is the last. This is the end of the first episode of In My Rants podcast. Links will be in the description for subscriptions to places and some things that we talked about. Subscribe, like everyone's channels, and like this podcast, you don't even have to like watch like the screen or something like that. You can just like put it in your pocket while you play COD or Minecraft or something. Just listen to it.
because we know you have no life, so you can just play this while you're playing Minecraft by yourself, so you can feel less lonely.
Yep, and just leave stuff in the comment section below and feedback. And thank you.
Yeah, we love you all.
Yes, very much. I love you.
Brofist.
Very much. I would just kiss you. Not really.
Remember to subscribe to PewDiePie.
All right, guys, we're kind of stretching it here, so
Hashtag get my rents.
okay, I hate kill hashtag. All right, so this is Mr. X4 Cryptic Canadian and Alex signing out.